Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I'll do a quick introduction, and then we can go into some Q&A. I'm having some trouble screen sharing.
Do you have trouble with the screen sharing? Mm,
It wants me to restart Zoom,
to restart the Zoom.
so I'll restart real quick.
Okay. See you in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Um,
Okay, now I'm back.
Okay, so okay, now it's working. Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
I'll do a quick introduction and then we can go into the topic. So, my name is Kevin Hawkins. I'm based in Barcelona, Spain, but I was born in the USA. My family is from Monrovia in Liberia. I've been traveling around the world, working on product design for large tech companies like Booking.com and Dell and Ernst & Young, and I currently work at Monta, a Danish company. My last company was in Spain called Glovo. So I oversee both the technology design teams, so the UI, the UX, plus the research, so market research, consumer research teams. And so we sit directly with the engineering and the development teams to make sure that what we build for products is working and that we use the best technology to get consumers what they want. So hopefully I can answer some questions you have today regarding any kind of technology needs, everything from your website to your email to marketing landing pages, sign up forms, and even anything you need to build an application or a platform. So tons of experience in the industry, from small tech companies to nonprofits to large B2C companies to B2B enterprise. So hopefully any questions you have, I can answer them. And Javier, how would you suggest that we run the show?
Sorry?
How do you suggest that we start the introductions to everyone?
I don't know. Normally, the speakers used to tell about them, and then the entrepreneurs ask questions about what you are expert in, like depending on the sector you are expert. So the entrepreneur will ask you depending on your field.
Just
Okay, so
before, yeah, so we begin, can everyone in the chat write down what you're working on, and then we can start doing Q&A, and I'll answer all the questions you have. Okay, I see some answers, some results. First one I see from Marcos Mendez, who has tagged my link. What are questions you have about setting up your NFC-powered digital business card platform? I'm curious.
Well, at the moment, more, I have too many questions on how to orient the business. We have we have a Shopify online e-commerce, and we're selling those NFC business cards over there. My main issue at the moment, for instance, is more related to the exposure, how to start doing the or tracking the process of the customers. Once they land in the website, I'm losing the track of where I'm losing customers. So because there's some, I'm receiving some visits, I'm spending money on Google Ads and some advertisement, but when they land in the website, the selling is not as I want. Obviously, I want more to increase the sales. So maybe if we're talking about the online view, that could be one of the main issues, how to track where I'm doing what they are seeing and where they are stopping the sale.
Okay, fantastic. Which platform are you using to do e-commerce?
At the moment, Shopify.
Okay.
I had a WordPress before. Now I migrated to Shopify, expecting better results, but I'm a bit on the same page. So I think it's actually.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Shopify is definitely an improvement, but I think that it still leaves you with a bit of work to do yourself. So let's talk about the analytics tracking. I'm assuming you also have a Google AdWords or Google Tag Manager account?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this tagging on the website?
Yes, it's supposed to have everything connected, but to be honest, that's the part that I need to do a course about it. I'll try to interact, or I try to understand a bit more on how everything is connected and the tags, and especially because I know when they are landing on the website, but I don't know exactly how to track everything on the steps. If they go to the product and they go to the checkout, but they don't finish, I don't know exactly where they are stopping, for instance.
So I'm going to talk about a couple of things here then. So there's a couple of ways to address this. Let's just talk from a theoretical point, and then let's talk practical for Shopify. So what you're going to want is some kind of acquisition tagging. So you want to know the location of where they come from before they land on the website, and then ideally, which customers from which place buy the most. So I don't know if you're doing any ads on like Instagram or Google. Are you currently tagging like the location, like the source? Do you have a unique link or location that you advertise?
Yeah, we are focusing it in Malta at the moment, and we're going to start it as well in Spain, because we have one mixed, but it's stopped the campaign. If that's what you are asking, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So more practically, I can actually see there's like 1,000 different ways on Shopify to track sessions. I think the number one thing that is like the source location would be traffic by source, but you're actually missing data. So I actually would contact the Shopify Help Center, because usually if this is set up properly, it's pretty automatic. But are you able to actually see like where they come from in your?
Yes, even in Google Analytics, I can see from where they are coming from. Yes.
Okay. And then what you're just seeing is that they get to the last step, they just don't convert?
That's the part that I don't know exactly how to see it or where to see it. I see from where they are visiting, but
fantastic. So then
maybe it's too complex. No, that's my issue, but maybe it takes so long to go investigate and so on. No, it's not just a 1-minute discussion.
Yeah, for this particular example, I'd love to see the data itself, right? Because it sounds like you have everything installed properly. It sounds like more like troubleshooting or debugging with Shopify support. Because generally speaking, it's pretty it's like plug and play. Like if you have, for everyone else who's listening, I'm going to show you what we're talking about. So for the most part, right, you would essentially have one of these tags, which is essentially this, right? So Shopify is just one of the products that can run a website. And then if you have advertising, if you have paid ads, if you have Facebook, any location, it should know that when they come, customers come from that page, that data gets sent and you should be tracking it to the website. That sounds like it's happening because you're actually able to see where they come from. So it seems like some data is dropping off or there's actually a bug in Shopify. So in this case, it probably is less technical and more of just like a bug on their end.
Maybe I just don't know how to see it or where to check it, or I don't know how to follow it up. And it's just the data is there and I'm not tracking it. Yeah.
Do you want to screen share? And maybe we can I can actually solve it in front of people.
I mean, if we are here for that and you want to, I'm more than happy, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. I say we have one more minute. I can probably show you a bit of where
the Shopify store?
Yeah. Yes.
I can definitely access. Give me a second. And do I have the rights to share somewhere? I'm not sure how to share. I have to share here. And let me see. Can you see my screen? Yeah, so you can see. So it should be from here somewhere, because that's the part that maybe I'm losing, or from Google Analytics if I have to go.
Yes. And then on the left hand side, you have the Analytics tab.
This one? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
This one. Yeah, I would say since all of these are at 0, I would actually contact support for Shopify because there probably is a disconnect between the data that you're pulling in and the dashboards that they have produced.
It could be that. Okay. I mean, I've been receiving alerts in my phone that there were some visits on the website, and maybe that's why I'm not tracking them properly, even from Shopify.
I would say so.
Okay.
If you go on the left-hand side, for anyone else about Shopify, this is super useful. On the left-hand side, under Analytics, under Reports, there's Live View. Live View should be the, if you go back to the left side under Live View, there's a little link under Reports. Go down. Yeah, so usually you'll be able to see like behavior as it's happening right now. So apparently there's like one customer or one potential customer visiting who in Malta. Right. This is how you would know if it's properly tracking, because then you could open up your phone, you could go on the website, and if you don't immediately see yourself in the platform, then that usually indicates that there's a data problem.
May I ask someone that is right now online, connected and access tagmylink.com and see if it appears in the map? Or even yourself, Kevin, if it's fine.
Put your link in the chat. It's tagmylink.com.
Yes, tagmylink.
Sure.
Like this link.
Okay. I'm on the website. You should see me in Spain, Barcelona.
It should be refreshing automatically.
It should be. You shouldn't have to refresh.
I mean, I received in my phone the alert that you just visited. Okay, it just showed up.
There you go. So since it is working properly, you're not getting the data on the home screen, I would contact Shopify. It's probably a bug on their problem.
I mean, it probably that during the past few hours I didn't have that many visits, so it's also something that that might have happened. But okay, I'll check it out.
Okay, but we're gonna go to another question, and then if you have more questions, you can raise your hand. Anyone who has questions, you can use the raise your hand function, and then we'll go in order. I saw Emmanuel just put his hand down, but your hand was up. I'm happy to answer your question next. Does anybody else have a technology question that I can answer? So the next person.
There are several questions on the in the chat.
Emmanuel?
All right, thank you. I'm a fish farmer, and I'm using bioflok system to raise my fish. And then I would like to get a website, but the website I am developing it myself gradually. And so I would like to know the SEO, which will be good for fish farming websites.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you're developing the website? Which platform are you using?
Okay, so with the back end, I'm using Node.js, and with the front end, I'm using normal HTML to develop it.
And then you're just coding it directly yourself, like front end directly onto the back end, and then publishing through like a hosting company. You're not using any kind of platform like a WordPress or anything else.
No, I wanted to buy this hosting platform, like where to host my website. So maybe if that could also be, you can also recommend that for me.
Perfect. Yeah, in this case, I think some of the best I would say is this company called Bluehost. I'll even screen share so you can see. So you can just get your kind of traditional web hosting, and you can put your code directly onto the platform. It's probably the cheapest option. You don't have to worry about paying for any like services month over month. You can pay to have access forever, or you can pay monthly as little as $2. It'll be different in every location, so the price will change when you go to the website in your location. But this basic plan, you can put up to 10 websites on it. So I think this is probably enough. But this is the one I recommend. In terms of the SEO, I think you're going to want to do almost the same thing that we were talking about just previously. You want to essentially have the website on the platform first. Second, you're going to use pretty generic Google SEO tactics, I would say. Like the best solution is I'll send you this kind of guide. This is specifically because you're building a website from scratch. This might be the simplest version of it. I can give you the specific link that you want, but there's a step-by-step guide about how to go from a custom website that you're hosting yourself, since you're coding it, to getting listed on Google. And a couple of the things that you need to do specifically is to publish a sitemap. And then this essentially tells Google the pages in your website, and then there are recommendations for each page. I can give you 3 different platforms, but the number 1 platform to use is this thing called Google Lighthouse. It'll give you step-by-step instructions of what to do, and they have this product called an SEO audit. And that audit will tell you every problem you have on the website and how to fix it.
Okay, and so kindly share the link in the.
Yes. I will put the link for the test here. Put it in the chat. I'm going to do a quick example. If Carlos doesn't mind, I'm going to use his website as an example. So you'll see it runs the analysis pretty quickly. It can do the analysis for both mobile and for desktop. And you'll see that it actually categorizes the recommendations by SEO, by performance, by accessibility, and there usually is one other factor. It takes maybe like 1 to 2 minutes the first time you do it, and then the second or third time you do it, it does it pretty fast. So let's see. Here we go. So This is like page speed performance. This is how easy it is for people to understand it. This is SEO, perfect score actually on this one, and then best practices, so small improvements you can make. If you click on SEO, then it'll give you the things to fix and how to fix them. It can also show you the things that were done correctly, so you can see all the things that were done correctly. So you can also find anything to improve. You'll see per each section small areas for improvement, and then a link to understand how to make that improvement.
Some of them with Shopify is tough to, for instance, no, because with WordPress is easier to fix them, but with Shopify, I guess that I'm not sure if you have the experience, no, but some technical, for instance, it's more.
Exactly.
Not
If you're doing a custom website, then you have full control, but the more you use a platform, the less you have control over these little details. But I would say pretty high score for SEO. So yeah.
That's more technical SEO, or also analyzes the content somehow on how
it's technical SEO. SEM would be how you rank against competitors and other things. This is just, are you properly indexed to rank high? Are you properly sorted? Do you have the categories, sitemaps? And it's kind of like the requirements to be at your highest rank. And then of course there's like bidding or advertising, which can push you down.
Maybe, well, I see that Antonio has all the questions, so it might come for later. But if you have some tools or places where we can actually see our competitors, compare with them in terms of keywords, and I don't know, maybe modify our message based on that. If there's some useful websites, and I'm not SEMrush and apps like this, I know they might work similar, but if you know, and
yeah, I'll come back to that a bit later. Yeah. Antonio?
Okay. Okay, so my project, wait a sec. Yeah. My project combines Spanish language learning with cultural inclusive content based on the Canary Islands. And I've already got a landing page to get subscribers to a newsletter and show them an example of the contents I teach. Also, I've got some social media, but I really have to work on it. And yeah, I've got a couple of questions. Like, for example, what would you recommend for someone in the early stages of a digital platform like mine, because I'm really starting? Like, should I focus on building an MVP, a minimum viable product first, or invest in creating a more polished version from the start?
Okay, great. This is a great question. I get this question a lot. I actually have a little visual example of what I recommend. So let me screen share a different screen. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, so generally speaking, when you're launching a digital product, whether it be a platform or an application, like you have in your head the finished product. Like you kind of know what you would want if you had all the money and all the time in the world, right? So it's like the full car. But in order for you to actually understand if you have all the correct pieces, it usually makes sense to test the most complicated piece first. So in this example, let's say the incorrect way to build would be to go make tires and then make the base of the car and then make the pieces one by one. Because you actually have no idea how any of these pieces work together. You don't have the learnings until the very end. So I don't recommend building like a perfect solution that's like super expensive and takes a long time, because you don't have learnings until the very end about how it functions, because customers can't use it until all the pieces are put together. Instead, find some small version of value. So let's say your product does 4 things. Build a version of the product that does one thing really well. And then try to get feedback on that one thing before moving to the next one and the next one. A good example of this in real life would be like online cloud storage, like Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever. Their whole goal, let's say at the end of the day, the car they wanted to build was cloud storage for like companies, right? So enterprises, hospitals, governments, banks. They started out working on just simple storage for people like you and me who have some photos of their family and there's not enough storage. Then they build the online cloud. Then they build the app. Then they build the data security infrastructure to be compliant with banks and healthcare and government. So instead of waiting until you have all the licenses and all the infrastructure, you kind of make a smaller, simpler version of the product for a consumer or for a different audience who has a similar need but less complexity. So see if you can get away with like a landing page that targets one audience and get them in the door, and then kind of build upon their needs until you get to the product you think you want to build.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. And I also am thinking about developing an app, APP, not now, as you said, like maybe, I don't know, in a year time or something like that. But my question is, since I don't have like a tech background, what should I look for when partnering with a freelance developer or any agency? Like, how can I ensure they understand my vision and deliver on like my vision?
Okay. This is a little more technical, but I can try to give you some advice here. So I advise lots of startups, lots of founders on getting their first tech products built. Instead of going directly into building the product, I would actually design what the product would look like and see if you can test it with customers. There is this thing. Let me see if I can find it for you quickly. There's this technique called the MOM test, which is if you ever try to describe what you're trying to build to like a peer or to, let's say, your mom, like what are the first 10 questions she would ask, like the things that are confusing or complex or not obvious. So you're really trying to work on your messaging. You should be able to explain anything you're selling, anything you're working on to essentially a peer of yours or to your mom. And this is kind of like what landing pages are good for. So an example would be running a landing page before you build the product, showing a design of the app or the product you're going to build, and then a form that says, hey, if you're interested, let's have a conversation, let's have a consultation or a free phone call about the product. You can essentially run tests on this page to see which version of the tagline, of the description, of the UI, of the colors, whatever you are testing, generates more feedback and more response. Which one is easier to understand? Which one generates more interest? Indirectly into the product, because maybe you change the features you build first. Maybe you build the features you were going to build in year 3 in year 1. Maybe people care about that feature more, or maybe they're willing to pay more for an advanced feature, and maybe you wanted to release it later on, but actually it becomes the most important.
Okay, perfect. That was really helpful. Thank you, Kevin.
Yep. And then my famous example is this is what Tesla famously did. They had like these non-functioning cars inside of stores, and the cars never actually worked. And then they actually brought you a car like a couple of months later that functioned. So they showed you the UI, you could sit in it, but it didn't actually do the main thing, right? Which is take you anywhere. Cool. Let's see. Kelvin?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so with our platform, we list hotel services for both guests and then non-guests. We have a digital platform running right now. I think we've developed this minimum viable product. It has its features ready. It's womai.com. You were saying you don't necessarily need to have it functioning. Like let's say, so not to have it functioning, I can list in maybe, let's say, dummy hotels, like maybe for testing, like dummy hotels, fake hotels that are not actually existing, and then I can test it with the customer segment or the target customer segment. see if it's better. With that, won't it cause any form of, I don't know, security issues or something? I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
I'm trying to open the website. I'm actually having problems loading. Okay, here we go. I'm going to screen share so everyone can see.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, so I'm on the platform, I think. Yes.
Yeah. So we have it in two aspects. We have the womai.com /PSM15. That's for the hotel to list their services. That's the hotel's dashboard to manage requests and then list their services. And then the GMS 15 for travelers and then guests or maybe non-guests to access the hotel services and then make reservations for it. Yeah. So with this hotels you see are dummy hotels, but I feel like approaching the market with this would cause a little bit of, I don't know, maybe non-trust or something. Maybe because they feel maybe these are fake hotels since we want to test it for the meantime. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
What's the number one thing you want to test? Is it consumer feedback? Is it feedback from someone who runs a hotel? What's the audience you want feedback from?
Both the hotel, feedback from both the hotel and then the customer themselves.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would design two separate tests, right? So the consumer experience is kind of like this one, right? This is if I'm looking for a hotel, this is the experience I care about. If I work for a hotel, I care about very different things, right? I care about how I can look at performance and sales and customer visits and reservations. So it's actually like a different feedback possibly. Maybe they care about.
Go downwards to the last part of it. You get to see the dummy account with all the history of this one. Just click on that. Yeah, Tower.
This one? Okay.
Yeah, so having experiences, you can scroll down and then have it.
So I can see the services and I can see the prices and I can even make a request. Yeah. So like this generally, like I think this is enough to get feedback. I would not possibly conduct, maybe a survey, some goals, but I think you would actually need to make a couple small changes, right? You want to not have to tell the customer what to do. So maybe if you can get all of the dummy hotels to go to a page, like a fake page per property, or even just one, they can all be going to one test page. You kind of want to give the user a goal or an action. So here is the website. Please go book tennis at this hotel and see how difficult it is for them to do it. See how hard it is, see what questions they ask, see what frustrations they have. That'll give you the friction, that'll give you any of the issues you have from the consumer side. The issues and the kind of problems to work on from the business side are very different because there's a couple questions I have about how, as a business, they want to see performance, but they also want to control the content, right? So they want to upload the right images, they want to have the right prices, the right names. So their questions are probably going to be about content management. As long as the consumers are happy with this experience, they're going to be happy, except for if it's hard to manage the content and keep it up to date and accurate. Also, payment and billing, of course, to receive the money from these reservations is going to be important to them. So I would say run one experiment right now with the consumers. So see their feedback on this. Obviously, there is going to be some comparison to similar platforms. So determine how much of an audience overlap, like how much of this product competes with like a hotel website or a booking.com, this kind of thing. But I think this is enough to do a test.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's it.
Okay, great. Who wants to go next with a question? There's lots of activity in the chat, so maybe I'll pull one out. Yes, the Powering Young initiatives.
My name is John Kakandelwa
John.
from Zambia, Kuchalo. So I'm working on a Mufao roast rice. It's a time-saving and a faster and instant cereal that is ready packed for consumers. It is 100% preservative-free product. The flavor is pure and natural. The longer it stays and the tastier it becomes. That's how I've designed the product. But that's my thinking about the product. But I haven't yet started designing the product in order for me to start getting the feedback from the who could be the consumers, and I want to upload it online and see what can happen. But I already have a page that has got over 30,000 followers, and I wanted to use that page on Facebook to see if my product can be accepted. So I don't know, how do I go about starting to design the product itself? Like the packaging, how the product is going to look like. Yes.
Okay,
So
great.
that's why.
Yes. So let's work backwards. So I love the initiative. I found this pretty quickly. So good SEO, I would say. So it clearly explains everything. I would love to see this content on a website that you own, so that you control the traffic and you know who visits. And besides having the followers on social media, it's better if you have their email address or some way to reach out to them, because on social media, they follow the content, but you can't kind of send a message easily to everyone. But in terms of designing the packaging, I think this is something that has gotten a lot easier lately. This is a tool that I think every one of my clients uses now. Even some of the designers that I work with have started to use this, which is this product called Canva. So it's kind of like what Adobe used to do, but Adobe has been kind of replaced in some ways with some of the easier to do tasks. If you know the exact material that you're going to build, you can actually come in here and probably find packaging or a box, or, you know, it has all of the templates. The thing that's most important is to know where you're going to get this printed. The printer of the material probably dictates the size and some of the parameters. But if you're just going to do a mock-up, I would actually use this tool. You can actually design almost anything, and they give you a realistic size, and then you can design within the tool. So let's say we're going to do the cover of the box. You can come in here and you can find this, and then you can say like product, like packaging, and then you can actually come in and like make some designs. I'm going to do something fake for a second. Let's do like, here's the thing. So let's say you wanted to do pasta, boom, and then you can come in here and you can make, you know, all the changes you wanted and come and design the actual thing.
Okay.
So yeah, this allows you to then show consumers or investors, hey, this is how nice the packaging could do. You could do, you know, 2 or 3 different versions of the design, and you can play around with it. And they have lots of elements and designs for you to adjust in here. Does that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome.
I'll try to use the same.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's a free tool, so you don't have to pay for anything.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep. Okay.
Can I share just a little thing?
Mhm.
Yeah, about Canva. The free version is already like amazing for me. But if you are down for the membership, you can upload your branding guidelines, like your colors, your logo, your types of fonts. So it is really useful just for everybody to know if you don't know.
Yeah, I can show you what he's talking about. So let's say you have a logo, like the name of the company, and then you have some materials. You can actually upload all of the materials into the platform, and then you can use the templates with your own logo automatically. You can also then put the colors, the fonts, anything, your photos, icons, whatever you have from the product into the platform. And then when you go and look for designs, it can easily put your logo in even faster because you have it already uploaded in the platform. But yeah, Canva's amazing, so I highly recommend cloud software. It's online, it's free to use, and you can use it for even professional print products like packages or flyers or business cards. Okay, cool. Let's go to next question, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to share my project and see how best you can advise us to how to manage it effectively. My project has to do with family planning, drugs. It has, for religious and cultural reasons, people sometimes feel shy to go to the pharmacy and openly, buy the contraceptives. And because it's been believed that when you go and openly buy such drugs, you may be, seen as immoral or promiscuous or somebody who is a spoiled child or spoiled person. So having observed that, we and my team have designed an app that will enable customers to, buy the drug through the app. Then our delivery dispatch will send it to them in a very private manner, in which you will not go out and you only fill a short form, give details of what you want. In terms of contraceptive pills, condom, pregnancy test kits, and everything. So we have a special package. We package and deliver to you in the private of your home or wherever you need. So basically, that is the project I'm working on. And the app is already in the system. And if everything works well, we may start very, very soon. But there are a lot of things that are not, getting well organized in terms of the advert, how to package the adverts and run it for people to be aware and the rest. So what advice could you offer at this stage? Because we are just about to start, actually. We have done almost everything and it's ready to start.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the background. So when you say you have everything, but you are about to start, I'm assuming you're talking about the delivery network, or what part of the business is developed and which part have you not worked on yet?
Yes, the app is developed. Then the delivery is supposed to start very soon. And currently, we have uploaded some adverts on TikTok.
And for delivery, how are you delivering? I'm assuming you're working local in Ghana. I worked at Glovo, which obviously operates in Ghana as well. But are you thinking of using a network like Glovo, Bolt to do delivery, or are you thinking of doing delivery in some other way yourself?
Yeah, I want to use a combination of them because sometimes the Glovo and those guys may be very busy. So I want to have 2 motor riders on standby that will be working with me directly. So they will be standby, and if there is a delivery, I package and they deliver it. So that is how I want to manage it, because if I put everything on the same system, maybe there may be some, hiccup somewhere. So I want to use all the systems that are available.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So having let's say the benefits, right, of using a solution like Glovo Local or Bolt Delivery is, of course, they manage the communication, the payment, the GPS, the tracking, but then, of course, you don't have control over privacy, because then these are people who you did not pick. At the same time, you then might need to build all of these things. So I think easy things, like things that don't scale, is like a very famous quote within business development. So like, let's say you're going to do WhatsApp, and maybe it's just the 2 couriers and yourself in the WhatsApp, and you can easily give an address and a package number, and then this is actually fine for now. There is an automation that you can do using WhatsApp for business, where you can actually have automatic assignments. I will show you a little bit of what this looks like. There's 2 platforms. One is called Twilio. So essentially, whenever you get an order, you can have a message with, the location, the product, everything sent to the courier, and they can accept it and go make the delivery. The other option is you can actually trigger like a workflow using a product called ManyChat. I will show what this looks like as well. And one of the solutions is for e-commerce. Manuel, what's the next thing that you're going to be working on to start the business? Is it a website? Is it a platform for the customers to buy on? You said you have the app, but how are you actually going to drive sales to the app?
Yeah. Okay. I think can you please repeat the first one again? There was the trusted WhatsApp messaging.
The first one, this one?
No, trusted WhatsApp messaging.
Good. So for this one, this can be your way of contacting your customers or the riders, the couriers who are doing the delivery, especially because you're building everything yourself. So that in this case, if you're doing your own delivery, you want to be able to have a private message chat between maybe the courier and the customer. So that way they can find them, do the drop off, everything like this, without having to exchange personal information. You can just use this platform. This one creates a business account for your company, and then your rider and the customer can be in a private chat. And the second the order is delivered or closed, the chat closes and no one keeps the personal information of both the courier or the rider. This is essentially how a lot of the businesses actually work. Like even Glovo works to some extent very similar to this, but they just, of course, hide the provider logo that they are running the platform on.
Okay, thank you so much. It sounds very, very interesting, and I will wish if you can drop your email at the end of the session so that in case I have some difficulty, I could reach you out, please.
Okay, sure. First, I'll put the links in the chat for these two products. So you have the links. And you can see even other companies in the same industry. Rappi does delivery for food. Nubank is a bank in Brazil. They both use the same platform for this. So messaging.
And it's free, I think.
The beginning is free. Yeah, for the quantity you'll probably have at the beginning, you're going to be free. I think it takes a very high number of messages for you to hit the cost. And then you can do.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Let's go to Edmund Ofori.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity once again. So I don't have an application or a website, but I've been considering it since I started this acceleration program. The reason being that I identify that it would be useful to have my client have a dashboard. I also wanted to find a way to source the best talent by giving them tasks that align closely with what my clients are looking for. And my company is Ragnarcraft, seeking to provide content marketing services to businesses, SMEs that are in Ghana and probably rest of Africa. So from your expertise, would you consider I make this as separate products for these different segments, or should I make it an all-inclusive web app that's everything runs and works on?
In my perspective, platforms usually beat component products. So a all-in-one platform like an Amazon, a Salesforce, these platforms that have lots of different products or services tend to be easier to trust because as each product does well and has successes, the entire platform benefits. At the same time, maybe it's better to do a test of each product, of each service separately before combining them, because maybe customers don't want to pay for, it might be perceived that they're paying for everything, even though they're only getting value from one of the products. So I would do some kind of consumer testing at the beginning to see how much interest there is, how related the different products and services are. If someone is very likely to buy one and then buy the other one in the future, then maybe it's okay for the platform. Otherwise, I would do them separately. I see another hand up from Justina. Justina, you are on mute.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon from Nigeria, Africa. I don't know what time it is. I'm trying to turn on my video. Am I okay? I can see myself.
There you go.
Okay. I run a media and advertising firm, and we actually started operations in 2019 officially. But the whole essence of my journey mentor day actually was for expansion purpose. We've been operating for a while in Nigeria and across some African countries and a little bit of clientele in the European countries. So we're looking at expanding. So my question is, running a tech-enabled business makes it easier to an extent to be able to reach out to different segments of clients, be it within your locality, your region, or elsewhere. But the challenge I've been having has been with identifying which probably segments to go into. Like we are planning on expanding to Asia, Europe. Like the closest we've gotten to such markets has been via hackathons, because we've been involved in several hackathons, especially during COVID-19. You know, we had about 4 of them, you know, on fighting COVID-19, educating people on AVV mask, especially at the peak of it. So we were very big on helping market masks globally because we developed a 3D mask within that hackathon. So I was saddled with the marketing aspect of it. I headed the marketing team across about 28 nationals from 28 different countries in Africa. So that has been the closest we've been to reaching companies that are not directly in Africa. And we also had another online hackathon that was with Facebook using Wit.ai to better the experience of messaging people have on Facebook. That was another hackathon we had. So, but physically or directly selling to these countries, we've not really done that, apart from via that hackathon that we were reached out to for the hackathons and all that. So the essence of my journey mentor day, because I see it's a cross-section of nationals and all of that, is actually to know how to, you know, probably leverage the platform to be able to reach out across to businesses. Basically, our services are just to help businesses scale their goods via sales. And this sales, we try to leverage technology and digital media to enhance such sales. So every of the services we render to businesses is either with digital platform creation and management, or content creation, or leveraging AI to actually ensure that they do an intentional ad tech and martech campaigns to be able to get across to the target market they want, as well as using the right call to action. So that's basically how we've been able to help businesses scale. But we're looking at actually leveraging other markets, getting across to international markets. Or that is why we get on Mentor Day program.
Very nice. Do you have a website to market these services and the case studies you're mentioning, the past successes?
Yes, we have a website, www.topnaturesoft.com, but at the moment it's undergoing maintenance. I think about 2 weeks ago, we went offline to be able to do some touch-ups, but the existing platforms that are on now could be my personal LinkedIn page, Justin Omenihu, you know, on LinkedIn, and then our social media platforms, the business's social media platforms, that's Top Nurture Sub, at Top Nurture Sub across Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. So basically, those are places that we leverage to reach across to clients.
Yeah, I see. I found one of them. Okay. So your main goal right now is to find like an early adopter client that's in a European market, so that you can actually have a case study of a European company with the same success story as you've had already with in Africa, right? So you kind of want your first case study in the new market so that you can actually build upon that and do more marketing and get more clients.
Exactly, across several of them, so we'll be able to test our hypothesis with them and then leverage, or better still, just replicate what we've done with the African countries based on the peculiar needs those other European and Asian markets have.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. I understand. Yeah, I think the website is actually probably going to be your best result. But then, of course, like you said, the social media is where you probably get the reach and you can find new customers. I think the website is probably the best in terms of you need to then convert them. There's a couple of different ways. I'm sure you've seen and you know both Instagram and TikTok for Business has this conversion tool where you can actually run an ad. And then if someone clicks on the ad, they don't have to leave Instagram or TikTok. They can stay on the platform, and you can do like an email collection or a phone number collection or a WhatsApp message directly from the platform. I think that's probably the fastest way, so that you don't have to spend money doing SEO and marketing to drive traffic to the landing page. If it's going to be a pretty short landing page with the kind of case studies you've mentioned, maybe you can turn the case studies directly into ads on the platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp Messenger, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and directly convert them without having them leave at all, because those tend to be higher conversion rates than if a person has to leave the app they're on to go to the web browser.
Okay. Okay, presently the integrations we have on the websites are just the socials. I mean, there is a handshake between our social platforms across board and the website. So from the website, you could actually get across to us via the contact form or WhatsApp or Facebook, Instagram threads. They are all embedded on the website, or the direct chat with us.
Have you seen one work better than the other?
Where we actually have the integration I meant was just for WhatsApp Business, Facebook and Instagram, and those are integrated on our website itself. So from our website, you could chat us directly on our business WhatsApp from the website, or you could get across to us on socials directly from the website, or place a call directly from the website by just clicking on the phone number on the website, and then it connects straight on to us without you having to copy the number or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna screen share something really quickly. So they're gonna get rid of the Instagram for Business, WhatsApp for Business, and merge everything under Meta for Business. And then they have this thing called the Meta Creative Center, where you can mention the kind of business that you have. Let's say in your case, you're doing services, and then you can mention the way you want to use the tools they have to drive traffic. So maybe it's best practices, inspiration. You're looking for a partner who can actually make advertisements that are high converting. And then you'll see they have their case studies. This is actually quite similar to your case, right? So these are past success stories from clients who have used a product or a service from Meta for Business. Ironically, it's kind of very similar to what you would like to do, right? You're showing off client work from past customers. You need to have some kind of nice visual or graphic that kind of shows off the success of what was made, and then any kind of performance or results. Then they have a couple visual examples, and this is the kind of thing that works quite well. You can actually make these, so of course, in the platform, or you can turn your website into embedded links. So you can embed your social media content on the website so that you have traffic going back and forth. This is the kind of thing I see work the most, if I'm being honest with you, because if you're getting most of your traffic, most of your new visitors from social media, you can actually turn your entire marketing strategy for targeting the EU market using geotags on social media advertising that are only placed in the markets you're trying to get customers from. So, for example, the countries that travel the most to the Netherlands are usually like Liberia, Benin. You have Belgium, for example. It's like the markets where there's already a bilateral relationship, where citizens have like direct flights, or there's businesses that operate in both countries. I think that's going to be your best way to get a European flagship to use for a case study, because they have an existing relationship in both markets. So then you build a brand in the market you already are in, but they are also in that market, therefore they trust you. And then maybe you try to get their business in their headquarters country, like Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, things like this.
Can I have the link to this site as well?
Yes, of course. Link is now in the chat. Okay, and we are out of time for Q&A, so I will now pass over to Javier.
Okay, thank you so much, Kevin, for your time.